Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. My name is Joanna the Medium, and also an intuitive coach. Just very quickly, these are obviously general readings and they will not apply to all of you. So take bits and pieces that apply and throw away the rest. Listen to your other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as your sun sign, as these more often than not will paint a more complete picture of what is happening in your life. What I have noticed over the last year and a half or so from you is that these readings, generally speaking, will not make much sense to you at the very beginning, but they almost always make complete sense to you at the end of the month or the beginning of next. And I have many of you email me personally saying that it made no sense to you at the beginning, and then halfway through or the third week into the month you listened again and you were shocked how everything was coming out the way it was said. So always listen at the end of the month, because I feel that will connect with you much more so. Also, these are general. I cannot connect with every single one of you. There's thousands of you watching. So if you send me a comment asking how this fits in your life, it's impossible for me to answer that unless, of course, we connect on a one-on-one level. And if that's what you would like, that information is down below, and I would be honored to have a session with you. And I think that's all I have. I wish you a wonderful month of November. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for watching, for liking and sharing. I look forward to seeing you in December. And for those of you who are celebrating holidays, like in the United States, the Thanksgiving Day, I wish you a wonderful holiday. And without further ado, let's move on to the actual readings. Hello, beautiful Pisces. This is going to be your reading for the month of November 2017. And let me start with channeled messages first. What I was seeing is that many of you in the month of November will be letting go of emotional burden that emotionally drowns you or keeps you down. I'm looking at what I wrote. So like the message says, many of you will be releasing yourself from your past. The emotional component or the emotional burden, most of you, is connected to an area of relationship. But at the same time, relationship is not just family, or it's not just romantic. We have relationships in every aspect of our life. We have relationship with pets as well as with our work. But I do feel that this is more of a personal relationship issue, more so than professional, though it would for sure connect with you or affect you in your professional relationships. One of the things that's being addressed here right away is the idea of trust. Fundamentally being able to trust somebody without a hesitation. And many of you carry the burden of not being able to do that, and this is stemming from your childhood. For some of you, it has to do with a father or someone who has abandoned you, or you felt abandoned. Now, many of us carry issues from our past. Point is that you are, in the month of November, going to recognize certain patterns, and you will allow yourself off the hook, or to release some of those patterns where you emotionally project certain aspects of yourself, and then you continue repeating the same thing over and over again. So that was very important. The other thing I kept hearing was compromise, and I saw you weighing things out very carefully. So some of you will be weighing things out with regards to a job. This could be starting a new career, being considered for a new opportunity, for a new job, or a new position, or contemplating a move in some area of your life, or a transition, and you will be contemplating things or weighing things out very carefully. I hear the word move, and I'm also seeing a train. So some of you may be contemplating a journey away from home or away from where you currently are. Some of you will be contemplating about taking a far-off journey. So this could definitely connect to a trip overseas. Doesn't have to be overseas, but there's a trip component for some of you, not for all of you. Let me see what else there was. Weighing things out. I hear some of you, do I pay or don't? Do I pay or don't? For some of you, there's a contemplation here regarding investment of some sort, either investing money, investing in something, investing your energy, investing your resources. There is something that you are contemplating and weighing things out very, very carefully. The word idealism came up, and I had no context to it other than idealism came up. So do not be surprised if some of you, the idea of idealism circles around you in the month of November. I also saw many of you sorting things out and looking for proof or providing proof. For some of you, this is to do with legal documentation, so it could be a legal matter, a legal case. For some of you, it could be as simple as you looking for receipts to provide proof of purchase because you are going to be contemplating returning something very expensive, and without a receipt, it's not going to work. And you know, because we return things all the time, it's, you know, for the message to show up like this, it means that there is some significance to it for some of you. It could be as simple as some of you returning gold. I hear gold earrings. So maybe some of you will be returning gold earrings or gold jewelry or gold piece of something, and you will have to provide a piece of proof or provide proof of purchase in order for you to either return it or to exchange it. But I feel like some of you are going to want to part with something. This could be a gift. This could be something, I was going to close my email, that was purchased by you, for you, whatever it is. But many of you are looking for, to provide proof. Now, for those of you looking for proof, what are they looking for? You're needing to substantiate your position, whatever the position is, whether it is material, whether it is in a legal context, whether it is in some other area. You're looking for proof. So if this is going to make sense to you, you'll know it. Otherwise, it's not going to make sense to you, so disregard it. So that is what I kept seeing. The overall number, which I was asked to look at the number, is the number 8, which is a number of strength. It's a number of prosperity. It's not a number of new beginnings, but he's asking me to say it's a number of new beginnings for you. So many of you will be having a brand new beginning or will be starting a brand new venture. And actually the card came up from a completely different deck. 8 is also strength in a traditional tarot deck. It is auspicious number. It is abundance, financial stability. There's a shift that happens to a lot of you in the month of November, December with regards to you feeling more stable. So let's go with the cards. The card that represents what you are leaving behind is the card of Judgment in reverse. So this is what you are leaving behind. This is a good thing. And what I feel with this particular card, this is self-doubt. This is sometimes refusal for self-examination, but you're leaving doubt behind. And if you are going to let go of emotional imbalances, well, definitely doubt will be one of those things. But I feel this is more connected to a transition in your life. And what I mean by this, it's more connected to a situation. I feel that many of you are leaving an unstable job that made you feel doubtful, or a relationship that was not fundamentally was not working out, and it was making you feel very doubtful, or you doubted the whole relationship or the whole job situation, the whole career. Point is, I don't want to spend too much time on it because you're leaving that behind, and that is what you want to see. What also transpired in not too distant past for you is that you made some pretty heavy realizations about your life. Some of you will be making these realizations. Some of you have made these realizations already. And as a consequence, you are choosing to take a different path or to venture off into a whole new different area, whether work or relationship or some aspect of your life, because of something that you were refusing to accept, or something fundamentally was broken. And when I say broken, it just functionally wasn't working for you anymore. The position of the now, or the card of the now, is perfect, brand new beginning. It is Ace of Wands. So to me, this symbolizes a brand new possible partnership with a career or job situation. It also symbolizes a renewal, inner renewal, feeling like you are being reborn, feeling like something is starting up again, feeling like your motor is being oiled up again and it's ready to rev up, feeling like your spirit is reborn, feeling like your passion is coming back. It could also be as simple as starting a brand new friendship, relationship, or some kind of career move, which I think I already mentioned this. So there is definitely newness in the air. They're asking you, what are you saying? They're saying, don't be careful not to overthink things. And that's interesting because there was a message here that you were weighing things out very, very carefully. So obviously when you're starting something new, because many of you are in a transition, you will want to think very carefully, not to make a mistake, for sure. But sometimes when we overthink things, then it actually ends up costing us an opportunity. So the message here is, don't overthink things too much. And some of you will be looking for clarity, and the only way of clarity will come to you will be through your intuitiveness, or you listening to your intuition. Point is, there's a brand new beginning for many, many of you that will make you feel like you are quote unquote reborn again. Now, where you are going, fantastic. 3 cards came up. 3 of Cups, which in this case says rejoice and celebration. And again, I'm hearing the word partnership. And even though this is a number 3 and it is a number of expansion, yes, you are emotionally, you will feel much more at peace, and you will feel much more grown, I want to say, but expanded. The other way of interpreting this card is celebration, celebrating birthdays, holidays, weddings, baby showers, the whole idea of being engaged in some sort of social activity. That is, the basic component of this card. But I want to go a little bit deeper than this. And what I hear here is, where you're going, there is going to be a mutual understanding. And the mutual understanding has to do with some sort of partnership. Again, this could be new career, new job, could be a brand new relationship, could be you may be forming a brand new partnership with a company, with, I heard a word lawyer, so for some of you it's going to be a lawyer. But there's also seems to be some sort of amicable outcome, or amicable solution or resolution to a conflict that has been plaguing you for quite some time. So it feels to me very much like a legal case. It doesn't have to be, but it feels to me, whatever this is, it's driven by somebody's anger. And I feel that there is going to be a constructive and amicable resolution to what feels to be very upheaval circumstance or situation. So that will certainly be time for celebrating and for feeling joyful. Absolutely. The other component is the chakra card came up, or the fifth chakra, which is the throat, and the crown chakra. Those 2 cards came up. And here's what I'm being shown. Some of you may complain of headaches in the month of November. Obviously, the whole idea of watching your throat because you're not speaking and all that stuff, be mindful of that. But this feels to me a lot of, there's a health component here. So some of you may get a cold that you will feel like you can't talk. There's a throat component here. So either you won't be able to speak because you're going to be hush-hush, or you will not be able to speak up, or you won't be able to speak because your throat is going to seize, and it's because you're sick, you get a cold, or you're not able to speak clearly or speak your truth. I also feel some of you will be dealing with a headache, and I think I already mentioned this. And that the headache here has to do with this legal case. And I hear the word legal compliance. Whatever the legal compliance means is very specific, so it's going to not connect with many of you, probably very few of you. On the positive side of this message of this card is the message of feeling connected to the higher source. Now, the word idealism came up, and that has to do with ideology and spirituality. It's not to do with materialism or realism. So many of you may feel like you will have clearer contact with your spiritual self, with your guides, with your angels, with spirit in general. There's definitely that definitely is forming there as well. And if that's the case, that's definitely time for celebration and rejoice. Absolutely. On the positive side of the chakra, the throat chakra card is, I feel like I want to cough. There's something that you need to cough up, whether it's a message, whether it's something in your throat you need to cough up, or something that you have been suppressing or holding on to that needs to come out. I hear the word anger. Some of you may have held anger, and this anger would have been suppressed for quite some time. And again, he showed me the vision of releasing a burden that is emotionally draining you or drowning you. So for some of you, I want to say, watch your anger, or you will be dealing with your anger in a much more effective way, in a way that is much more constructive and not destructive. So that is also being shown to me. I keep hearing the word headache. So I feel like some of you, you'll either be dealing with something that's going to cause you a headache, or you're going to get a headache. I don't know why I just saw chocolate. Bioflavonoids, what is that? Okay, bioflavonoids or flavonoids. I don't know why that's coming up. I'll look it up later. Why am I seeing chocolate? For some of you, if you eat a lot of chocolate and you seem to get headaches around the time of eating chocolate, notice if there is some sort of allergy that's coming up the surface that you are not aware of. Okay, it could be something in a chocolate, obviously, but it could be milk, it could be nuts, it could be traces of something that you are allergic to and you didn't know. So for those of you who are dealing with headaches or will be dealing with headaches, and notice if it's somehow tied to you eating chocolate. And that's not going to be for all of you, obviously, it's going to be for some of you, but because that came up, it's going to be significant for some number of you. Sorry, my cat is playing around here. Is there anything else? No, that's all I want to do. That's all I want to say on this card. Now, what is influencing all of this for you? Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So I can see that wherever you're going and the new beginning is being instigated by lack of future vision, lack of movement, lack of positive movement, lack of stability. And I feel a lot of it has to do with work. The other component is relationship, and that's pretty self-explanatory. So that is what's driving you in this brand new direction. Letting go of emotional burdens this is what's influencing letting go of emotional burdens. Things were not working out in some aspect of your life, and because this is a Pentacles card, it is going to be the physical aspect. So it's relationships, jobs, or health. Something has not been working out for you, and things have been stalling, and that is influencing you looking at some deeper emotional aspects of you and realizing that there are some things within you that are holding you back in a physical existence. And you're becoming very mindful of certain components within your personality that are somewhat addictive. So addiction comes forward as the obvious choice, but it's also addictive behaviors as far as repeating certain patterns and being addicted to certain situations. And this could be, example, being addicted to not ever making enough money. Now that sounds like a strange way of saying it, right? But if you have, in this example, if you have a poverty mindset, if you come from a place of lack within yourself because of how you grew up or what you've witnessed at some point in your life, then you will be constantly drawn to situations that will keep proving to you that yes, financially there is always lack, or there's not enough money. And many of you will be looking at those components, and I guess that's the word idealism. That's why it's coming up, because you'll be looking at certain ideologies that you hold dear, and maybe not consciously, but it will become conscious to you as you look at certain patterns and recognize certain behaviors, and then you'll go, where does this behavior come from? Because behavior is always followed by an emotion or a feeling. Then you'll get to a feeling, and then you'll go, oh my God, I'm actually quite angry at my dad because when I was 16 years old and I asked him for money, he closed the door in my face and he rejected me, and I moved out and I had no money. So that's just an example that came up. Is that true for some of you? Probably, but it's not necessarily the case. It's just an example. And the word anger, which is, we talked about the throat chakra also. And you will recognize that there is this deep-seated anger that it keeps externalizing itself in your life. Okay, and I think that's what I want to leave at this. So that is the influence, which is fantastic, because the more recognition we have, the more ability we have to change or transform aspects of ourselves and therefore our behaviors. Now, when I asked the message, what should they focus on? The card of peace came up in protection position. I'm doing these readings over various days, so they're not all on the same day. And this card keeps coming up over and over in this particular position. And what this is saying here is, despite of a little chaos in your life, you are encouraged to seek peace within yourself. It is also about recognizing that you can't look towards others for peace, and also not looking towards others for validation. So this is very much focused on you. As we let go of a lot of emotional behaviors, we will become very practiced at recognizing certain aspects, and then when we recognize it, we can then turn them around or face them and then move forward in a much more productive way. So this is about you finding peace. You finding peace within you, whether it's through meditation, whether it's through contemplation, whether it's through breathing exercises, yoga, hypnosis, and anything that will allow you to go within and find that peace within you, find the strength within you, because ultimately, when we are peaceful inside, we will attract like energy to us. So there's a lot of interesting components happening, particularly with letting go of things that have been emotionally keeping you stuck or drowning you. Then I asked for another card from a completely different deck, and I said, okay, show me an additional message for Pisces. What do you have? New beginnings. So definitely there is a brand new beginning for many of you. There's a lot of red and green and yellow in this card. I hear the word sustenance. You are moving into a much stable existence, much stable future. Is this going to externalize itself fully in the month of November? Probably not, but you are going to feel that you are moving into a much stable territory, probably because it's going to feel that way within yourself. I feel like many of you are closing doors on certain aspects of your life that have served its purpose and are no longer, and you are consciously choosing to move in a different direction. Now, some of you may be forced to make a choice, and it may not feel very good, but how you look at that choice, even though it may not be yours, and how you position your view towards it, or how you connect with something that is not your choice, how you accept it, and how you choose to, what's the word I want to use, please? Perceive it, has the potential to give you the difference between feeling like you're losing versus feeling like you're at the point of a brand new beginning. And sometimes the words, just the words we choose for ourselves, will have the potential to shift the energy. And the situation may not change, but how we shift the energy, how we connect to a certain situation, will make the difference between night and day, because it's all about perceptions, how we perceive things and how we choose to look at things. And the whole proverbial glass half full versus glass half empty comes up, and you guys understand what that means. So point is, many of you are in a project, in a position to have a brand new beginning, financial and emotional and otherwise, health-wise as well. Because there's some green here, many of you will be healing your heart in the process, and healing your heart from past experiences, past traumas, past circumstances, as far back as, childhood and teenage years. And what happens often is we carry things in our back pocket or in our subconscious, and we don't consciously are aware of it, and we are being driven by an emotion which then creates conflict in our life. So I think that's all I have. They keep asking me to say the number 3 and 8. 8 is all about confidence. So you are moving into a much stronger place, energetically, but also emotionally and mentally. 3 is number of expansion. As we expand, or in order to expand, we have to let go of some things, because certain things that keep us stuck cannot allow us to expand. So as you let go of some of those burdens, you are then in a position to expand substantially in a energetic way, but also how it translates into your physical being. And then I'm seeing the number 20. So for some of you, you've been dealing with this for 20 years. 20, something about the number 20 or 2. No, 20, something about the number 20. Maybe some of you have been in a relationship for 20 years and you are choosing to move on. Or you have been dealing with some kind of an emotional disturbance for 20 years and you're choosing to let that go. Or you've been at work for 20 years and you're choosing to let that go. Or 20 days, I don't know what it is, not 20 days. Something about the number 20 is significant here. Now, the Judgment card is the number 20, but it's a number 20, but that is not what why I saw the number 20. So for some of you, the number 20 is going to mean something. Okay, maybe some of you are 20 years old. Generally speaking, my audience seems to be a little bit older. I hope this makes sense. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, watching, and subscribing. If this doesn't make sense to you right now, listen to it at the end of the month, because that's typically what happens. At the beginning of the month, it makes no sense, and then at the end of the month, it makes perfect sense. Choose what fits in your life, choose what doesn't. This is obviously general reading, so I won't be able to answer your messages down below, how it affects your personal life. It's impossible for me to do that. But if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you, and I would be honored to have a session with you. Thank you so much once again. I wish you wonderful month of November, and I look forward to seeing you in December. Take care.